I'm a complete Civil War bore. Anything in my life that's not the American Civil War, to me, is an annoying distraction. Connecticut's past deals specifically with the state's political history, the state's industrial history, and the state's role in America's wars. I must say that 2 out of 3 are fascinating.
Clay work exhibit, yeah.
And I would say, when I agreed to do the Henry Clay work essay for the Hog River Journal, I just assumed this place would have tons of materials, and it wasn't the case at all. All we had was this print of Yankees burned in Georgia, and everything else we picked up off eBay within about a 9-month period of time.
Look at these cases. What do you got here? Sharps?
Yep. This used to be known as Rifle Avenue, and 4 long blocks away was the Sharps Rifle Works. This doubled photograph shows it as the Weed Sewing Machine, but Weed Sewing Machine Company just sort of tipped in their labels over the Sharps rifle factory.
What's in this case?
Those are all Connecticut contract rifle muskets. State manufacturers built about 37% of the ones the War Department bought. Now the very top one is Colt, and Colt had enough influence and power in a model gun with all the tooling developed that the War Department says, we're going to waive our requirement for interchangeability. You know, we don't care, we know it's going to be a good product, but nothing on this gun except the rear sight and trigger guard interchange with these. Now these guns, with the exception of some at the bottom, the only difference is the marking on the lock plate, and they could be broken down into a pile of promiscuous parts and all reassembled and still fully function.
Joseph Hawley and Civil War Governor William Buckingham. This is great. The Freedom Trail quilt is amazing, isn't it?
I'm a quilter and the stuff just
Isn't it incredible?
It's
Yeah, it's really
stunning. Just the work is beautiful.
Yeah, it's great, and there's so many of these incredible stories. This whole room is amazing. George Wright was obsessed with this governor's portrait collection, and he wanted to have portraits of every Connecticut governor. The problem was that a lot of them died before anybody took their picture. So what he did is he went around and sketched descendants of the governors. Isn't that correct? To get some sense of what they might have looked like.
The guy in armor is probably the son of John Hayes.
Yeah, and so they would, some of the colonial portraits, and there really are portraits for almost all of them, maybe all of them, but they're not necessarily what they looked like, because they weren't done from life. But we've, well, because it's by a famous artist, and it's early. Ralph Earl and Oliver Wolcott was important, and it's just, they're all good, but that one is,
That's Ralph.
yeah, and if the Met owned that, they'd show it. Colt firearms. Sam Colt. They're beautiful, but that is one of the most important guns in the world.
Which one?
This one right here that I'm looking at.
Oh, the pistol.
Yeah, with all the gold inlay.
Oh,
and
yeah.
These were these presentation guns that were made to dazzle heads of state and military personnel, and it's just, there's nothing quite like this.
Probably. Is there a sign?
Do you think that's the original?
Yes, that is the original
On top of the dome?
rampant Colt from the dome. Yep.
What did the spear and the other,
Cool.
Should be out front.
Yeah, well, nobody. I presume they won't lock us out of the Historical Society
No,
for
that's
5 minutes late.
I
Since
have the keys. I also, Mary and I have keys.
Wow, this is an amazing collection. Yeah, I know, it's great. Connecticut, you can't, and those things aren't that common, so. But this is, yeah, this is where he's got most of his great stuff. Oh, there's Alfred Terry. There we go.
I remember this too.
Yeah.